Man, can you believe it? 215 episodes of What's Up, Flobo? As you can tell by my voice, it is early as I'm recording this week on Tuesday morning. I'm about to go live, about to record in half an hour the Mac Mania podcast, a Spotify original presented by The Ringer. So I figured I'd get some things off my mind, off my brain. As always, I gotta say, there's ways you can help the homie out, especially on that patreon.com/Flobo Boys. We got so much cool things. Flobo tries, where I try new things, or Flobito's book club. It's worth a skim. Not to mention show notes, photo galleries, gig blogs, and more. It's a lot of cool stuff, and more stuff's being added all the time. Patreon.com/Flobo Boys. Even if you want to check it out, for a month or two, that would definitely be a boon to you and your content offerings. And if you're like, nah, not about that life, I'm kind of a one and done kind of person, flopito.threadless.com. That's the web shop. Buy yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie. The hoodies are really, really nice, and they are so soft. flopito.threadless.com. So it is not even, well, it is sunrise, but it's an overcast day here in Los Angeles. I finally got a full week to myself after traveling out and about. As you know, last week I was in Alaska. Week before that, I was in Texas, and in a week and a half, I'll be off into the Sunshine State in Florida. So being able to be with the birds here in Los Angeles is great. And I mean that completely tongue in cheek, because those birds have been going crazy since 5 o'clock in the morning. What can I do? All right, so a lot of these episodes on What's Up, Flobo, unfortunately, I say that in a tongue-in-cheek way as well, kind of devolves into like content and pandemic, because that's basically my life. But the original idea of the show, back when it started, is that I had all the content over on AfterBuzz, and this is supposed to be what's going through my mind. And so I just figured I'd just share with you what's going through my brain this week. It's only one thing, but of multiple parts. You see, over the past 10 days, I've written one postcard, one greeting card, and one letter by hand. And I go, wow, even for somebody who's never had good handwriting, my penmanship has fallen off a cliff, because I don't write anything anymore. I mean, I do write when I do my Rocket League games, or I'm making notes in my new Amsterdam notebook. I'm writing, and I know it's bad, because the idea is that I'm just writing so fast, like score tallies and stuff, that I'm just like, like this is I know is bad. But when I sit down to write words for people to read, and I go, hand, what are you doing? This is terrible. I go, oh my goodness, this is definitely a product of what I do. Most people use screens, they type on screens, and I'm one of many people that have a completely digital job. I don't have to write down orders at a restaurant. I don't have to write down maintenance charts for elevators or anything like that. I just realized, man, I got to put some effort into this penmanship thing, just in case someone's like, write this legibly, or else you'll be in trouble. Now, when I won't say was, I never officially stopped. When I did officiant work for weddings, and I was responsible for the marriage license, because those documents are like disarming a bomb. And I mean that like some count is more than others. But if you write out the box, or if it's sloppy, you have to resubmit it, and that becomes a time issue and sometimes a money issue depending on the county. Like LA will give you like a free gimme, but Orange County and Ventura County will say, no, you got to pay for another one. It becomes an issue of don't lose money. So when I write my name, I'm taking my sweet time, but no one really wants to go that slow when they're writing a greeting card, or that slow when you're writing a handwritten letter. So it goes from being like neat to not neat. And I go, wow. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is, do you have anything that you don't do anymore due to your job, or the advance of technology you want to get back into, or even the pandemic, that crazy P word again? I was at a wedding this past weekend. DJ Flobito was back. My first wedding of the year, which is kind of late. It's wedding season officially in April, so it's not late. But because it's Southern California, sometimes you might get the March weddings or the Valentine's Day wedding, or even the odd January wedding, even though January is considered like the off season for DJs. I was at a wedding last weekend, and I'm trying to get back into the groove in that. And my not my groom, but the groom. I'm not getting married, y'all. The groom was thanking everyone for coming out to the wedding and said thank you to my coworkers over here, my family over there, and my motorcycle crew in the back. And I go, man, it's been years since I've gotten on a motorcycle. I got the license, I got the endorsement. I would still say I was a beginning rider. Like my most recent teacher was taking me on the streets, and I was like, I was getting used to that. I was going kind of slow, but I was going. And the my last lesson I had was him teaching me how to ride on hills. And then money was tight, and then had to make rent due, and then the pandemic happened, and I realized I'm pretty much back at zero again, and I want to go back. Maybe I have to go. Maybe I might go back to like a proper school and then go back to private lessons, or jump into private lessons again. I'm not really sure, but that's another thing where I go just because of what I do in this chair next to the most famous dresser in the game. I haven't been able to get back to things I've actually started. Not like, oh man, I would love to be a millionaire, or I would love to visit Lisbon. I haven't done it yet, but there's things that I've done and I was doing that because of work happened, it kind of changed up. So I know a lot of people who have 9-to-5 jobs look at us who are self-employed and go, you have so much freedom to do what you want. And I guess in theory it is, not diminishing that. But if you have any sense of an adherence to structure, you basically would structure yourself out of doing the things that you would love to do if you had all the time to be lazy. That's what I was on my mind this week. I'm like, man, maybe I should take some writing drills, or maybe I should call up a motorcycle school to get back into lessons or whatever. But what's going on in your mind? Let me know in the comments below as I wait for sun to peek through the clouds and for me to get ready to do the podcast. The time you get this, it'll be Wednesday, 420. Yeah, happy 420. And happy Easter, by the way. By the way, Easter was challenging this year. The Lenten season was challenging this year for me. I got through it. I totally overcompensated this weekend by eating everything and drinking everything under the sun. And now it's kind of to be like this weird post-Lent balance thing. I'm going from salads and chicken breasts and water to having cheeseburgers and pizza and trying to be like, okay, what's the middle ground? But that is an addendum for another time. That is for me. Say hi to your mom for me. Peace out.